Many years ago, we needed mineral wagons for a layout, but there weren't many available on the market. So we got some plastic bodies from cases, white metal castings, and the recently available EM Gauge Society wheels, and made our own. These days, there are nearly 1,000 private owner mineral wagons on the marketplace, from the ready-to-run stock to kits and wagon lettering. But in the early days, we had to hand paint them. Gradually, the range increased. Now I wanted many more, so we started another batch program using kits and even a few ready-to-run versions. Really, the minimum you have to do is to change the wheels and the couplings. Generally speaking, I also add compensation and correct any underframe detail errors. Here are a few made about 40 years ago. And these are ready-to-run wagons, where only the wheels and the couplings and perhaps the buffers have been changed. Sometimes more major changes required. This coke wagon has a new chassis. I've used many compensating axle guard units. You can mix and match them if you don't mind. One way or another, they can help overcome track problems. It's not always possible, but I think the best method is to split the axle box from the spring and use the spring attached to the sole bar of the wagon. This is the range of our axle guard units with sprung, rigid or compensated versions. There's the standard ones, the old-fashioned ones, special ones, a commission for Great Western Railways, British Railways versions and ones for iron ore wagons. These days I use my own coupling hooks and links from Roger Smith. They're folded together, soldered, fed into the drawbar and bent over at the back to hold them in position. This is our range of coupling hooks. There are common ones, BR era ones and vintage ones. Although sprung buffers help a wagon considerably, particularly longer ones, I find no use in springing coupling hooks. It's totally inappropriate to see a train bouncing backwards and forwards. To run long trains, particularly around bends, you have to meet several criteria for the train to work and stay on the track. There has to be a minimum level of inertia in each wagon, and they all really ought to weigh around the same weight. An entirely plastic wagon weighs very little, less than half an ounce. A white metal wagon, particularly a van, can weigh over 2 ounces. They really ought to have a similar weight, and we think best is somewhere around 1.5 to 2 ounces.